All right, we're off.
Front page. Coming up later in all things
Manchester paint's done. That's good, but now I need something else to paint.
But didn't realize it was bipolar.
I was manic most of the year in Iraq,
Look at this windshield. I mean, I've seen better.
Pretty much
Mostly on the outside, so.
Eventually, Martin was diagnosed, and he now helps other veterans with mental health issues.
Old crusty ass
We'll hear more
wiper.
about that in 20 minutes here on Michigan Public.
A case before the Supreme Court that started with a group of New Jersey fishermen could have a far-reaching
I should
effect
go
on
right now
federal
with this guy
regulations.
turning, but I'll go
A
on
rule
the next
that
guy.
dates back to a 1984 case involving the energy giant Chevron and the Environmental Protection Agency could be upended, weakening the power of federal agencies.
Yeah, we can see out of this shit. Oh, yeah.
Morning edition is tomorrow from 5 to 9. Support for Michigan Public comes from Travel Marquette. The Winter Festival season continues with the New Haven on Ski Marathon, a cross-country ski race with a festival atmosphere in Michigan, January 26th and 27th.
Oh, don't do it.
Information
Are you
at
serious? Fuck, bro.
Former President Donald Trump left his
Jesus. What the speed limit is over here? No, we're going at least 5 over. It's 40.
Expected to last until Thursday. The main door is treacherous. Stay tuned for Michigan Public News. A&M Law Centers, for the first time in decades, Baltimore Sun will be locally owned. The story paper is shifting hands from a hedge fund to a local businessman. Yet the identity of the founder has stunned many people in the Sun newsroom and you. NPR media correspondent David Mulkenflip once reported for the Baltimore Sun, and he joins us to talk about what's happening to the paper now. Hey, David.
Hey, Juan.
So, David, I gotta tell you, I live in Baltimore, and this is one of the only things other than the Ravens that people in town seem to be talking about right now. There was this huge outcry in the city a couple years back when the hedge fund Alden Global Capital bought the Sun. How are people that you're talking to feeling about this turn?
Sure. I mean, look, I worked for the Sun for more than a decade, but it has a really proud heritage going back to 1837. The story of the Sun, nonetheless, is kind of the story of modern American newspaper. Alden is the latest in a string of big corporate owners that has, time after time, decade after decade, whittled down or slashed its staffs and its ambitions. The paper has shrunk pretty sharply, and of late, all this said, look,
Car just feels a little heavier. I think it's the cold. I think it's like the shocks. They're a little stiff.
Tell us more about it.
The brakes feel a little stiff.
Sinclair Broadcast Group, which is based in Baltimore County. I actually worked on
I'm always a little too hot onto this ramp. These guys are going like 55 and I come sliding in.
television stations around the country.
So,
They kind of centralize
gradually get up to the 55 here.
There's some homogenizing of them, but they've also been
Yes, sir.
targeted in a conservative direction. I don't think this is any accurate representation. It's given a lot of money to Republican candidates over the years, and also to very conservative causes. Right now, it's like Project Veritas, which is one committee with USA, which is far right advocacy.
This is just happening now, but do you have a sense of what
Chevron CEO told Bloomberg today his company has not changed its shipping operations. But the Wall Street Journal reports Shell has halted traffic in the Red Sea, and Maersk, the container shipping company, took that step earlier this month.
Have these higher shipping costs shown up yet at the gas pump or on store shelves?
Not much. Right now, this is really a bigger problem for Europe than it is for the United States. Again, the Red Sea offers a shortcut between European and Asian ports, and some companies like Tesla and Volvo have been forced to suspend some manufacturing operations in Europe because, say, car parts that ordinarily would have come by the Red Sea were held up. And basically, the longer this drags on, the greater the risk those problems could multiply.
The real uncertainty is whether those shortages are enough to cause a lot of disruption. It's the sort of thing that firms get by running down their inventories of inputs.
It's less of an issue in the U.S. Most of the goods that the U.S. imports from Asia come across the Pacific Ocean to ports on the West Coast, so those shipments don't have to go through the Red Sea. And there's not as much cargo traffic anyway this time of year. We typically have a lull right after the holidays. We have seen some impact on global crude oil prices in response to the Houthi attacks, but not a whole lot. And retail gas prices in the U.S. have stayed low.
That sounds promising. Does that mean that this is not likely to hurt progress that we've seen in inflation?
You know, I don't want to minimize it. The Red Sea is a very important shipping lane, so there are lots of people who have a stake in getting this resolved. Federal Reserve Governor Chris Waller was asked today at the Brookings Institution whether he thinks this is likely to reignite inflationary pressures. Waller said probably not.
There are alternative routes to routing stuff. It doesn't have to be to the Red Sea. So then you're just talking about substitution, about where you're going to go and how you can do it. I don't see it potentially being a big impact on certain global or U.S. inflation unless this thing, spirals into something much more severe than it appears that it is right now.
People in the shipping business are constantly making adjustments for all sorts of reasons. I will just note that another big maritime shortcut, the Panama Canal, is also seeing delays, at least through March, because of drought. There's limited water to float the vessels through the canal's locks. As a result, some shippers were planning to bypass the Panama Canal and use the Red Sea-Suez route instead to get from Asia to ports on the east coast of the United States. That obviously looks a lot less attractive now.
NPR Scott Horsley, thank you.
You're welcome.
Later, fuckhead. Not stopping for that shit. Must be fucked up. Must be fucked up.
You're listening to All Things Considered from NPR News.
Support for NPR comes from the station and from Mathnasium, who believes that every kid can be a math kid. Mathnasium offers customized math instruction intended to challenge advanced kids and help struggling kids get better. Learn more at mathnasium.com. From Procter & Gamble, maker of ZzzQuil Pure Z's gummies, designed with melatonin for occasional sleeplessness to help people fall asleep naturally. Learn more at ZzzQuil.com. From the Kauffman Foundation, providing access to opportunities that help people achieve financial stability, upward mobility, and economic prosperity, regardless of race,
I'm gonna
gender,
not
or
make this
geography.
next light because of this guy.
Kauffman.org. And from listeners like you who donate
Probably
to
would have not
this
made it anyway.
NPR station.
But whatever. Let's see
This
which
is
lane you
Michigan
choosing,
Public.
bro.
News
Okay, he's
is coming
choosing
up
right.
next. Support for Michigan Public's environment report coverage
Look at
comes
this
from
fucking
Enbridge,
asshole.
adapting and modernizing existing infrastructure toward the goal of cleaner
Holy
and
fuck,
more
you
efficient
fucking
energy.
piece of shit.
Enbridge
What
has
side are
committed
you
to net
going on,
zero emissions
dickhead?
by 2050. Information at enbridge.com.
If it cleared up, I'd get right by this motherfucker.
The U of M Physics Department, hosting the
It's gonna ride like that the
2024
whole way,
Economy
too.
Rules lecture by Professor Dean Jocelyn Bell Brunel.
We'll show him
It's
what's
the
up
first
right here at
radio
this next time.
cruise. That's January 17th
Oh, he's
at
gonna go
Rackham
the speed
Amphitheater
limit,
and
middle of the
online,
road.
lsa.unish.edu/physics.
My favorite kind of dude. The speed
Michigan
limit.
Public is WUOM
Speed limit
91.7
follower, middle of the
Ann Arbor,
road
Detroit,
driver.
WFUM 91.1 Flint, WRSF
Nailed this
91.3
light.
Port Huron, WLNZ 89.7 Lansing, WVGR 104.1 Grand Rapids. It's 5 o'clock.
Some people tend to associate mental illnesses with a sign of weakness, right? So
Look
if
at
you're
this
in the
fucking
military, you're
asshole.
supposed to project this tough image.
There's a growing campaign in the armed forces service members that it's good
Ain't
to
no
talk about
cars
mental
ever
health.
coming to that light from the other direction. So no need to stop at that motherfucker ever.
Shapiro.
If I'm Juana Summers, this hour a heart.
Except that one time I went through it like late. The guy was coming.
Sitting in a Manhattan courtroom today.
He's a defendant in a defamation case about sexual abuse.
Also, kidnapping happens a lot in Nigeria.
So how did one case break through to grab the country's attention?
For the past year, we've seen these incidents where people who go to pay ransom are also held and the ransom is demanded on their behalf.
I'm gonna take the
also.
chance that it's
Last
gonna
highlights
clear
from
up
last
here in a
night's
second.
semis.
You know who I want to
Turn
thank?
from here.
I want to thank me.
Niecy Nash and more after this summary of the day's news.
Live from
Yeah,
NPR
fuck it, bro.
News, I'm Dale Wolf. There were no major surprises in yesterday's Iowa presidential caucus voting. As expected, former President Donald Trump was the runaway winner, while Florida Governor Ron DeSantis finished in second and Nikki Haley was close behind in third.
Later,
Now,
motherfuckers.